Hello, and welcome to English Made Easy. I'm Olivia. It's wonderful to have you here with us today.
And I'm Noah. We're so happy you're joining us. Thank you for choosing to spend your time with us today.
If you're learning English and just starting out, don't worry at all. This podcast is made especially for you.
Yes, this podcast is for beginner learners. That means people who are starting to learn English and want to speak and understand it better. We know it can feel difficult sometimes, but that's completely normal.
Well, we know that English can be a little bit challenging, but we are here to help you every step of the way. We speak slowly, we use simple words, and we give you plenty of time to listen and learn.
That's absolutely right. We are here to help you feel more confident with English. You don't need to be perfect. Nobody's perfect when they start learning a new language. Just keep practicing step by step, day by day.
So, what do we do in each episode, Noah? Let me tell our listeners about our format.
Well, first we will listen to a short dialogue. That means we hear two people talk in a simple conversation, like at a restaurant or at work or with friends. These are everyday situations that you might find yourself in.
Then we stop and explain the words. This means we tell you what the words mean and how to use them. We give you examples too. We want to make sure you really understand each word and phrase.
And sometimes we tell you short stories from our own lives. That makes it easier to remember the new words and phrases. When you hear real examples, the language becomes more real to you.
And if you don't understand everything the first time, that's completely okay. You can pause, listen again, or come back later. Learning a language takes time, and it's important to be patient with yourself.
Yes, don't feel stressed. Just relax and enjoy learning with us. That's the best way to improve. When you're relaxed, your brain learns better.
Now, are you ready? First, we listen to the dialogue. Then we'll talk about the words and learn together. We'll go slowly and carefully.
You're already doing great just by being here. Let's begin.
Hello, we're excited to show you our native speech capabilities.
Where you can direct a voice. Hey, Olivia, how was your weekend? Did you do anything fun?
It was really nice, actually. On Saturday, I visited my friend Anna. We had lunch together at a new cafe that just opened last month.
Oh, that sounds fun. What did you eat? Was the food good?
I had a sandwich and some soup. The food was delicious. The sandwich had chicken, lettuce, tomatoes, and a special sauce. The cafe was small but very cozy. They had nice music playing and comfortable chairs.
Nice. What did you do after lunch? Did you go home?
Well, after lunch, we went for a walk in the park. The weather was beautiful. It was sunny and warm, perfect for walking. There were lots of families with children playing.
That sounds lovely. I like walking in the park too, especially when it's sunny. There's something peaceful about being outside in nature.
Yeah, me too. We walked for about an hour. We walked around the lake and saw some ducks swimming. Then we sat on a bench and talked. We talked about work, about our families, and about our plans for the summer.
What are your plans for the summer? Are you going anywhere?
I want to travel. Maybe I'll go to the beach for a week. I love swimming in the ocean and lying in the sun. I need a holiday. What about you? What did you do on the weekend?
On Saturday, I stayed at home. I cleaned my apartment in the morning. It took me about 2 hours. Then in the afternoon, I watched a football match on TV. My favorite team was playing.
Oh, was it a good match? Did your team play well?
Yes, it was really exciting. My favorite team won 3-1. I was very happy. I was shouting at the TV the whole time.
That's great. I don't watch football very much, but I know it can be exciting. And what about Sunday? What did you do then?
On Sunday, I visited my parents. I had dinner with them. I went to their house around 5 o'clock. My mom cooked my favorite meal, chicken with rice and vegetables. She's a really good cook.
That sounds delicious. I love home-cooked meals. There's nothing better than food made by your mom.
Me too. After dinner, we watched a movie together. It was a comedy. We laughed a lot. My dad fell asleep on the sofa halfway through, which was funny.
That sounds like a perfect weekend, nice and relaxing.
Yeah, it was nice and relaxing. I like spending time with my family. It's important to me. Sometimes we're all so busy, so I try to visit them every weekend if I can.
That's really nice. Family is important.
All right, let's start with a very common word we use when we go to see someone or go to a place. The word is visit.
Yes, visit is a very useful word. When you visit someone, you go to see them. You go to their house, or maybe you meet them somewhere. It's one of those words you'll use all the time in English.
Exactly. And you can also visit a place, like visit a museum, visit a city, or visit a park. It's a very flexible word. We use it in many different situations.
Let me give you some examples from my life. Last month, I visited my grandmother. She lives in another town about 2 hours away, so I drove there on Saturday morning. We had tea together and talked for 2 hours. It was really nice to see her. We hadn't seen each other for a few weeks, so we had a lot to talk about.
That's lovely, Noah. I like visiting my grandmother too. Last weekend, I visited a new museum in the city center. It had beautiful paintings from famous artists. I spent about 3 hours there looking at the art. I went alone, which I really enjoyed because I could take my time and look at everything carefully.
Oh, that sounds interesting. You see, we can visit people or visit places. The word works for both.
Right. Now, one more thing. When we talk about visiting in the past, we say visited. When we talk about the future, we can say will visit or going to visit.
Good point. For example, yesterday I visited my friend. That's the past. Tomorrow I will visit my aunt. That's the future. Next week I'm going to visit Paris. That's also talking about the future.
Perfect. So remember, visit means to go and see someone or to go to a place. You visit your friends, your family, or interesting places. It's about going somewhere to see something or someone.
Now, let me tell you another story. When I was younger, I visited my uncle who lived in the countryside. He had a big farm with cows, chickens, and horses. I loved visiting him because it was so different from the city. I could run around, play with the animals, and enjoy the fresh air. Those visits were some of my best childhood memories.
That sounds wonderful, Noah. I have a similar memory. When I was a child, I visited my cousins every summer. They lived by the sea. We would spend the whole day on the beach, building sandcastles and swimming. I looked forward to those visits all year.
You see, when we visit people we love, we create special memories. That's why visiting is so important. It's not just about going somewhere, it's about connecting with people and places.
Absolutely. Now, let me tell you about different types of visits. You can visit someone for an hour, for a day, or for a week. For example, yesterday I visited my neighbor for just 30 minutes. We had a quick chat and some coffee. But next month, my sister is going to visit me for a whole week. She's coming from another country, so we'll spend a lot of time together.
That's a good point. Visits can be long or short. Sometimes I visit my friend just to say hello quickly. Other times I visit my parents for the whole weekend. The length of the visit depends on the situation and how much time you have.
Exactly. And here's another thing. In English, we can also use visit as a noun. We can say a visit. For example, thank you for your visit, or I enjoyed our visit, or this visit was too short.
That's right. So visit is both a verb and a noun. When it's a verb, we say I visit or I visited. When it's a noun, we say a visit or the visit.
Good explanation. Now, one more thing about visiting. In some countries, people visit each other without calling first. They just arrive at your door. But in other countries, it's more polite to call or message before you visit. In English-speaking countries, it's usually better to arrange a visit first. You might say, "Can I visit you on Saturday?" Or "When can I come and visit you?"
Yes, that's important cultural information. In my experience, most people like to know when you're coming. It gives them time to prepare, to clean the house, maybe to prepare some food or drinks. So always try to arrange your visit in advance.
Very good advice. Okay, let's practice together. Repeat after us.
I visited my friend on Saturday.
I want to visit London next year.
My sister visited me last week.
I'm going to visit my parents tomorrow.
Good job. You're doing great.
Okay, now let's talk about eating. We all eat every day, right? So let's learn two very common phrases, have lunch and have dinner.
Yes, these are phrases we use all the time. When you have lunch, it means you eat your meal in the middle of the day, usually between 12 and 2 p.m. In some countries, lunch is a big meal. In others, it's smaller. But we always use the same phrase in English.
And when you have dinner, it means you eat your meal in the evening, usually between 6 and 8 p.m. Some people call this meal supper in some regions, but dinner is the most common word.
Now, in English, we say have lunch or have dinner. We don't say make lunch or do lunch. We use the word have. This is very important to remember because students often make mistakes with this.
Let me tell you about my day yesterday. I had lunch at 1 o'clock. I was at work, so I ate a salad and some bread at my desk. It was quick and simple. I didn't have much time because I had a meeting at 2 o'clock. Sometimes, when I'm very busy, I have lunch at my desk while I work. It's not ideal, but sometimes it's necessary.
I usually have lunch around 12:30. Sometimes I bring food from home, like a sandwich or some pasta that I cooked the night before. Sometimes I go to a cafe with my coworkers. We have a favorite cafe near the office. They make really good soup and fresh sandwiches.
And what about dinner, Olivia?
I usually have dinner at 7 p.m. I like to cook at home. Last night I made fish with potatoes and green beans. It was really tasty. I learned the recipe from my mother. She's an excellent cook, and she taught me many recipes when I was younger.
That sounds delicious. I had dinner at 7:30 last night. I was tired after work, so I ordered pizza. Sometimes when I don't want to cook, I order food from a restaurant or I go to a restaurant. There's nothing wrong with that. We all need a break sometimes.
Yeah, that's completely normal. We all do that sometimes. Cooking every single day can be tiring, especially if you work long hours.
So, remember, have lunch means eat your meal in the middle of the day. Have dinner means eat your meal in the evening. These are the phrases we use naturally in English.
You can also say have breakfast for your morning meal. It's the same pattern. Breakfast, lunch, dinner. We use have with all of them.
Good point. Let me tell you more about meal times in English-speaking countries. In Britain, people usually have breakfast around 7 or 8 a.m. They might have toast, cereal, eggs, or something like that. Then lunch is around 1 p.m. and dinner is around 7 p.m. But of course, this varies from family to family.
That's right. In the United States, it's quite similar. But some Americans have dinner earlier, maybe at 6 p.m. And in some families, especially on Sundays, they have a big lunch and a smaller dinner. Every family is different.
Now, let me tell you about different ways to have lunch or dinner. You can have a light lunch or a heavy lunch. A light lunch might be just a salad or a sandwich. A heavy lunch might be a big meal with meat, rice, vegetables, and dessert.
That's right. And the same with dinner. You can have a light dinner like soup and bread, or you can have a big dinner with multiple courses. It depends on your appetite, your culture, and your schedule.
Let me give you some example sentences. I had lunch with my boss yesterday. We're going to have dinner at a nice restaurant tonight. I haven't had breakfast yet this morning. Let's have lunch together next week.
Those are great examples. Here are some more. What time do you usually have dinner? I had a quick lunch at 1 o'clock. They're having dinner with friends this evening. I need to have lunch soon because I'm very hungry.
Perfect. Now, one more thing. Sometimes people say go to lunch or go to dinner. This usually means going to a restaurant. For example, let's go to lunch tomorrow means let's eat lunch at a restaurant tomorrow. It's slightly different than just have lunch.
That's a good distinction. Have lunch is general. You could have lunch anywhere, at home, at work, at a restaurant, but go to lunch suggests going out somewhere, usually to a restaurant or cafe.
Exactly. So you might say to a friend, do you want to go to lunch with me on Friday? That's inviting them to a restaurant. But you might say to your family, what time are we having lunch today? That's probably at home.
Very good explanation. Okay, let's practice these phrases now.
I have lunch at 1 p.m. every day.
I had dinner with my family last night.
We're going to have breakfast at 8 a.m. tomorrow.
Let's have lunch together next week.
Excellent work. You're learning so well.
Now, let's talk about a very nice activity that many people enjoy. The phrase is, go for a walk.
Yes, when you go for a walk, it means you walk outside for exercise or for fun. You're not walking to go somewhere specific, like to work or to the shop. You're just walking to enjoy it. The walking itself is the purpose.
Exactly. You might go for a walk in the park, around your neighborhood, or by the river. It's relaxing and good for your health. Walking is one of the best exercises you can do, and it's free.
I love going for a walk. Every Sunday morning, I go for a walk in the park near my house. I walk for about 30 minutes. I listen to the birds, I look at the trees, and I feel calm and happy. It's like meditation for me. It helps me clear my mind and prepare for the week ahead.
That sounds wonderful, Noah. I go for a walk almost every evening after dinner. I walk around my neighborhood for 20 minutes. It helps me relax after a busy day. Sometimes I listen to music while I walk. Sometimes I just listen to the sounds of the neighborhood, the birds, the wind in the trees.
Yeah, walking is great for your physical health and your mental health. And you can go for a walk alone or you can go with someone. Sometimes I go for a walk with my wife. We talk and enjoy the fresh air together. We discuss our day, our plans, our dreams. It's quality time together.
That's nice. I sometimes go for a walk with my dog. He loves it. He runs and plays, and I get exercise too. Dogs are great companions for walks because they're always enthusiastic and they notice things we might miss.
So remember, go for a walk means to walk outside for pleasure or exercise. It's not walking to a destination. It's just walking to enjoy it. The walk itself is the goal.
And we use different tenses. I go for a walk every day. That's present tense, a habit. I went for a walk yesterday. That's past tense. I'm going to go for a walk later. That's future tense.
Perfect. Now, let me tell you about the benefits of going for a walk. Doctors say that walking for just 30 minutes a day can improve your health significantly. It's good for your heart, your lungs, your muscles, and your mind. And you don't need any special equipment. You just need comfortable shoes.
That's absolutely right. I started going for walks every day about 2 years ago, and I noticed a big difference. I sleep better at night, I feel less stressed, I have more energy during the day. It's such a simple thing, but it's very powerful.
And walking is something almost everyone can do. You don't need to be young or fit. Old people can go for walks. Young people can go for walks. It doesn't matter. You can walk slowly or quickly depending on your ability.
Exactly. My grandmother is 85 years old, and she goes for a short walk every morning, just around her garden. It keeps her mobile and healthy. She says it's one of the reasons she's still strong at her age.
That's wonderful. Now let's talk about where you can go for a walk. The most common place is a park. Parks usually have paths or trails that are perfect for walking. They're often peaceful and green, away from traffic and noise.
Yes, I love walking in parks. But you can also go for a walk along the beach if you live near the sea, or along a river, or in the countryside if you live in a rural area, or just around your neighborhood or town.
And in cities, some people go for walks in shopping areas or busy streets. They like to see people, look at shop windows, feel the energy of the city. So walking can be peaceful or lively depending on where you choose to go.
That's a good point. Now, let me tell you about different types of walks. You can go for a short walk, maybe just 10 minutes, or a long walk, maybe an hour or more. On weekdays, I usually go for short walks because I don't have much time. But on weekends, I sometimes go for long walks in the countryside.
And some people go for power walks. That means walking very quickly for exercise. You move your arms, you walk fast, and you get your heart rate up. It's more intense than a normal walk.
Yes, I've seen people doing that. They look very focused and energetic. I prefer a leisurely walk where I can look around and enjoy the scenery, but power walking is great if you want more intense exercise.
Now, here's an important note about the phrase go for a walk. We say go for a walk, not go for a walk or make a walk. The A is important, and we use the preposition for.
That's right. Students often forget the A or they use the wrong preposition. So remember, go for a walk. Always use for and always say a walk.
Let me give you some example sentences. I'm going to go for a walk now. Do you want to go for a walk with me? I went for a walk this morning before work. She goes for a walk every evening after dinner.
Those are perfect examples. Here are some more. Let's go for a walk in the park. I need to go for a walk to clear my head. They went for a long walk in the countryside yesterday. Going for a walk is my favorite way to relax.
Excellent. Now, in English, there are some related phrases. You can also say, take a walk. This means exactly the same as go for a walk. For example, I took a walk in the park yesterday.
That's true. Go for a walk and take a walk are interchangeable. They mean the same thing. You can use either one.
And if you want to be more formal or literary, you can say go for a stroll. A stroll is a slow, relaxed walk. It sounds a bit more elegant than just a walk.
Yes, stroll is a lovely word. We went for a stroll along the river at sunset. That sounds quite romantic and peaceful.
It does. Okay, now let's practice these phrases.
I went for a walk in the park.
I go for a walk every morning.
Let's go for a walk after lunch.
She's going for a walk with her dog.
Great work. You're doing really well.
Now, let's learn another useful phrase. The phrase is stay at home.
Yes, this is a very common phrase. When you stay at home, it means you remain in your house. You don't go out, you don't go to work, you don't go shopping, you don't go anywhere. You just stay in your home.
Exactly. You might stay at home because you're sick, because the weather is bad, because you're tired, or simply because you want to relax. There are many reasons to stay at home.
Let me give you an example. Last Sunday, I stayed at home all day. I didn't go out at all. The weather was rainy and cold, so I decided to stay inside. I watched movies, I read a book, and I cooked a nice meal. It was a very relaxing day.
That sounds nice. I stayed at home yesterday evening. I was tired after work and I didn't feel like going out. So I just stayed home, had dinner with my family, and went to bed early. Sometimes staying at home is exactly what you need.
Absolutely. Now, it's important to note that we say stay at home, not stay in home or stay home without the preposition. Well, actually, in American English, people sometimes say just stay home without at. But in British English, we always say stay at home.
Good point. So if you're learning British English, remember to say at home. I stayed at home. I'm going to stay at home. She stays at home on Sundays.
Right. Now, let me tell you about different reasons people stay at home. Some people stay at home when they're sick. If you have a cold or the flu, it's better to stay at home, rest, and get better. You shouldn't go to work and make other people sick.
Yes, that's very important. I stayed at home last month because I had a bad cold. I took 3 days off work and just rested. I slept a lot, drank lots of water and tea, and took medicine. After 3 days, I felt much better.
That's the right thing to do. Some people also stay at home because of bad weather. If there's a big storm or heavy snow, it's safer to stay at home. Last winter, we had a huge snowstorm. I stayed at home for 2 days because the roads were too dangerous to drive on.
I remember that storm. Many people stayed at home. The schools were closed, the offices were closed. Everyone just stayed inside and waited for the storm to pass.
And some people stay at home simply because they enjoy it. Some people are introverts. They like being at home more than going out. They find it relaxing and peaceful.
That's true. I have a friend who loves staying at home. On weekends, he rarely goes out. He says his home is his sanctuary. He reads, he watches movies, he cooks, he works on his hobbies. He's perfectly happy staying at home.
There's nothing wrong with that. Everyone is different. Some people love going out and being social. Other people prefer staying at home. Both are fine.
Exactly. Now, let's talk about stay at home as an adjective. We can say a stay-at-home parent. This means a parent who doesn't go to work but stays at home to take care of the children.
Yes, that's a common phrase. She's a stay-at-home mom or he's a stay-at-home dad. It means they've chosen to stay at home and focus on raising their children instead of working outside the home.
It's important work. Taking care of children is a full-time job. My wife was a stay-at-home mom for 5 years when our children were very young. She stayed at home with them every day, took care of them, taught them, played with them. It was hard work, but very rewarding.
That's wonderful. Being a stay-at-home parent takes dedication and patience. It's not easy, but it's very valuable.
Now, let me give you some more example sentences. I'm staying at home tonight. Do you want to go out or stay at home? I stayed at home all weekend. If you're feeling sick, you should stay at home.
Those are great examples. Here are some more. Let's just stay at home and watch a movie. I prefer staying at home on Friday nights. She stayed at home to wait for the delivery. They decided to stay at home instead of going to the party.
Perfect. Now, staying at home doesn't mean doing nothing. You can be very productive at home. You can clean, cook, work on hobbies, exercise, study. There's a lot you can do.
Absolutely. When I stay at home on weekends, I'm usually very busy. I clean the house, I do laundry, I cook meals for the week, I work in my garden. I don't just sit on the sofa all day.
Me too. Staying at home can be active or relaxing depending on what you need that day. Sometimes I stay at home and work on projects. Other times I stay at home and just rest. Both are valuable.
Very true. Okay, let's practice this phrase now.
I stayed at home yesterday.
I'm going to stay at home tonight.
She stays at home on Sundays.
Let's stay at home and relax.
Excellent work.
Okay, now let's learn a very important phrase. The phrase is spend time.
Yes, this is a phrase we use a lot in everyday English. When you spend time doing something or with someone, it means you use your time for that activity or with that person. Time is precious, and we choose how to spend it, just like we choose how to spend money.
Right. For example, you can spend time reading, spend time watching TV, or spend time with your family. The phrase works with activities and with people.
Let me give you an example from my life. Last Saturday, I spent 3 hours cleaning my house. I didn't want to do it, but it needed to be done, so I spent my time cleaning. It wasn't fun, but it was necessary. Afterwards, my house looked much better, so I was happy.
I understand. Yesterday, I spent 2 hours at the gym. I like to spend time exercising because it makes me feel healthy and strong. I usually spend about an hour on cardio exercises, like running on the treadmill, and another hour on strength training, like lifting weights.
That's good. Exercise is a great way to spend your time. I also like spending time with my friends. Last weekend, I spent the whole afternoon with my best friend. We had coffee, we talked, we laughed. It was really fun. We spent about 4 hours together, just chatting and enjoying each other's company.
That sounds lovely. I like spending time with my children. Every evening, I spend at least 1 hour with them. We play games, we read books, or we just talk about their day. It's my favorite time of the day. They're growing up so fast, so I want to spend as much time with them as I can.
That's wonderful, Noah. Children need that time with their parents. It helps them feel loved and secure.
Yes. So remember, spend time means to use your time doing something or being with someone. It's about how you choose to use your time.
And we can use it in different ways. I spend time reading every day. That's a habit. I spent time with my family yesterday. That's the past. I want to spend more time outdoors. That's expressing a wish or plan for the future.
Exactly. Now, let me tell you something important. In English, we think about time like money. We spend time just like we spend money. We can waste time just like we can waste money. We can save time just like we save money. And we can invest time in something just like we invest money.
That's a great observation, Noah. The connection between time and money is very strong in English. People often say things like, time is money, or don't waste my time. This shows how valuable time is.
Absolutely. So when we spend time on something, we're giving something valuable. We're choosing to use our limited time for that activity or person. That's why it's important to spend your time wisely.
Very true. Now, let me give you more examples of how we use spend time. You can spend time alone or with others. For example, I like to spend time alone sometimes. It helps me think and relax. Or I prefer spending time with friends. I don't like being alone too much.
Good examples. You can also spend time doing hobbies. I spend a lot of time playing guitar. It's my hobby. I spend about 5 hours a week practicing. Some people might think that's a lot, but I enjoy it, so it's worth it.
That's nice. I spend time gardening. I have a small garden at home and I spend at least an hour every weekend taking care of my plants. It's relaxing and rewarding. When I see my flowers blooming, I feel proud of the time I spent.
And people spend time on their careers. Many people spend most of their waking hours working. They spend 8, 9, 10 hours a day at work. That's why it's important to find a job you enjoy because you're going to spend so much time doing it.
Absolutely. I spend about 40 hours a week at work. That's a lot of time. So I try to make sure my work is meaningful and interesting. I don't want to spend all that time doing something I hate.
Absolutely. Now, here's something interesting. People often talk about quality time. This means time that is meaningful and special, not just any time. For example, I don't just want to spend time with my children, I want to spend quality time with them. This means really being present, really connecting, not just being in the same room.
That's such an important concept. Quality time means giving someone your full attention, not looking at your phone, not thinking about work, just being present. I try to spend quality time with my partner every evening. We sit together, we talk, we really listen to each other.
That's wonderful. And it's not about the quantity of time, it's about the quality. You can spend 5 hours with someone but not really connect. Or you can spend 30 minutes with someone and have a deep, meaningful conversation. Quality matters more than quantity.
Exactly. Now, let me give you some common phrases with spend time. We often say spend time together when talking about people. Let's spend more time together, or I love spending time with you.
Yes, and we say spend time doing something when talking about activities. I spend time reading. She spends time cooking. They spend time traveling.
We also use spend with specific amounts of time. I spent 2 hours studying. He spends 30 minutes exercising every day. We spent the whole weekend cleaning the house.
Good examples. And here's a negative example. Don't spend too much time watching TV. Or I spent too much time worrying about things I can't control. Sometimes we need to be careful about how we spend our time.
That's true. Time management is important. We all have the same 24 hours in a day, but some people use their time more effectively than others. It's about priorities and choices.
Absolutely. Now, let me tell you about how I spend my typical day. I spend about 7 hours sleeping. I spend 1 hour getting ready in the morning, having breakfast, that sort of thing. I spend 8 hours working. I spend about 2 hours with my family. I spend about an hour exercising or going for a walk. And I spend the remaining time eating, doing housework, relaxing, watching TV, reading. When you think about it like this, you realize how important it is to spend your time well.
That's a really good breakdown, Noah. I think everyone should think about how they spend their time. I actually did an exercise once where I wrote down how I spent every hour for a whole week. It was very eye-opening. I realized I was spending too much time on social media and not enough time reading or being creative.
That's a great exercise. It makes you aware of your habits. Once you know how you're spending your time, you can make changes if you want to.
Exactly. Now, here are some questions you can ask with this phrase. How do you spend your free time? What did you spend your weekend doing? Who do you like spending time with? How much time do you spend on social media every day?
Those are all very natural, common questions. And here are some answers. I spend my free time reading and watching movies. I spend my weekend visiting my parents. I like spending time with my close friends. I spend about an hour on social media every day.
Perfect. Now, let's talk about some related expressions. We can say pass the time, which means to do something while waiting. For example, I read a book to pass the time while waiting at the airport.
Yes, pass the time is similar to spend time, but it often suggests you're doing something while waiting or doing something to make time go by faster.
And we can say kill time, which is more informal. It means the same thing, doing something while waiting. I killed time by playing games on my phone.
Right. Kill time sounds a bit negative, like the time is wasted or not useful. Spend time is more neutral, and quality time is positive.
Good distinction. Okay, now let's practice this phrase together. I spent time with my friends yesterday.
I like to spend time reading books.
How do you spend your free time?
I want to spend more time with my family.
She spends a lot of time studying English.
Wonderful. You're doing an excellent job.
Now let's talk about entertainment. Two very common phrases are watch a movie and watch a match.
Yes, these are things many people do for fun and relaxation. When you watch a movie, you sit down and look at a film on TV, on your computer, at the cinema, or on your phone.
That's right. And when you watch a match, you're looking at a sports game like football, basketball, tennis, whatever sport you enjoy. In American English, people usually say watch a game instead of watch a match, but the meaning is the same.
Good point. Now, with both phrases, we use the verb watch, not see or look. This is important. We say watch a movie, not see a movie or look at a movie. Well, actually, we can say see a movie when talking about going to the cinema, but watch is more common for TV or streaming.
Let me explain the difference. See a movie usually means going to the cinema. Let's see a movie this weekend means let's go to the movie theater. But watch a movie is more general. You can watch a movie anywhere, on TV, on your laptop, on streaming services like Netflix.
Exactly. So watch is the more useful verb because it covers all situations. Now let me tell you about my movie watching habits. I love watching movies. I watch at least 2 or 3 movies every week. Usually I watch them at home on my TV using a streaming service, but sometimes for big action films or special movies, I go to the cinema because the big screen and sound system make it more exciting.
I'm the same way. I watch movies at home most of the time because it's comfortable and convenient. I can pause if I need to, I can make popcorn in my kitchen, and I don't have to worry about other people talking during the movie. But going to the cinema is special too, especially for certain types of films.
What kind of movies do you like to watch, Olivia?
I like watching dramas and comedies mostly. I enjoy films that have good stories and interesting characters. I also watch documentaries sometimes because I like learning about real things. What about you?
I like action movies and thrillers, films with lots of excitement and suspense. I also enjoy watching animated films with my children. We watch a family movie together almost every Friday night. It's become a tradition.
That's lovely. Movie night with the family is such a nice way to spend time together. Now let's talk about watching matches or games. This is usually about sports.
Right. When you watch a match, you're watching a sporting event. It could be football, rugby, cricket, tennis, basketball, whatever sport interests you. I love watching football. I watch at least one match every weekend. My favorite team plays on Saturdays, and I never miss their matches.
I watch tennis sometimes, especially the big tournaments like Wimbledon. I find it exciting to watch the best players in the world compete. But I'm not as passionate about sports as you are, Noah. I probably watch a match once a month, if that.
That's okay. Everyone has different interests. Some people watch sports regularly, others rarely watch. Now you can watch a match on TV, or you can go to the stadium and watch it live. Watching live is much more exciting because you're there in person with thousands of other fans.
Have you been to many live matches?
Yes, quite a few. Last year I went to 3 or 4 matches. There's nothing like being in the stadium, hearing the crowd, feeling the energy. It's a completely different experience from watching on TV.
That sounds exciting. I've only been to one live sporting event, a tennis match. You're right, the atmosphere was amazing. Everyone was so engaged and passionate.
Exactly. Now, let me give you some example sentences with these phrases. I watched a great movie last night. What movie are you watching? Let's watch a movie together this weekend. I'm going to watch the match at my friend's house.
Very good. Here are some more. Did you watch the match yesterday? I love watching movies on rainy days. They're watching a football match on TV. We watched 3 movies last weekend.
Perfect. Now, here's something interesting. In English, we often combine watch with other activities. For example, let's watch a movie and have pizza. Or I'm watching the match while doing my ironing. You can watch and do other things at the same time.
That's true. I often watch movies while eating dinner or while doing some kind of craft or hobby. It's a way to relax and be productive at the same time.
And people often watch movies or matches with friends and family. It's a social activity. I have some friends who come over to watch big football matches at my house. We eat snacks, we drink beer, we shout at the TV together. It's great fun.
That sounds like a good time. I have a friend who loves watching movies, and we have movie nights together sometimes. We take turns choosing the film, we make popcorn, and we discuss the movie afterwards. It's one of my favorite things to do.
That's wonderful. Now, let me talk about different ways people watch movies and matches nowadays. In the past, you could only watch movies at the cinema or on TV when they were scheduled. But now, with streaming services and the internet, you can watch almost any movie anytime you want.
Yes, technology has really changed how we watch entertainment. I have 3 different streaming services, and I can watch thousands of movies and TV shows whenever I want. It's very convenient, although sometimes there are too many choices and I can't decide what to watch.
I know that feeling. It's called decision paralysis. You spend 30 minutes looking for something to watch instead of actually watching. But overall, having choices is good.
And with sports, you can now watch matches on your phone or tablet while you're traveling or away from home. You're not limited to watching on TV anymore.
That's right. Technology has made it much easier to watch the things we enjoy. Okay, let's practice these phrases. I watched a movie last night.
I'm going to watch the match tomorrow.
Let's watch a comedy film.
Did you watch the game yesterday?
Very good. Okay, and that's the end of today's episode. We've covered so many useful phrases today. Let's quickly review what we learned.
We learned visit for going to see people or places. We learned have lunch and have dinner for talking about meals. We learned go for a walk for walking for exercise or pleasure.
We also learned spend time for talking about how we use our time. We learned stay at home for remaining in your house, and we learned watch a movie and watch a match for entertainment.
These are all phrases you'll use regularly in English. I encourage you to practice using them in your own life. Try to make your own sentences with these phrases. The more you practice, the more natural they'll become.
Absolutely. Remember, learning a language takes time and patience. Don't worry if you make mistakes. Mistakes are part of learning. Every time you practice, you're getting better.
And don't forget, you can listen to this episode as many times as you want. If there's a section you didn't understand completely, go back and listen again. Repetition is very important for learning.
That's right, and try to use these phrases in real conversations. When you talk to other English speakers, use the words and phrases we taught today. That's how you'll really learn them.
Thank you so much for spending your time with us today. We really appreciate you listening and learning with us.
We'll be back soon with another episode to help you keep learning. We'll introduce more useful phrases and help you feel more confident speaking English.
Until then, keep smiling, keep listening, and keep practicing. You're doing great, and we're proud of you for taking the time to improve your English.
Remember, every little bit of practice helps, even if you only learned one new phrase today. That's progress. Be patient with yourself and enjoy the journey of learning.
If you enjoyed this episode, please tell your friends who are learning English. Share it with anyone who might find it helpful. The more people we can help, the happier we are.
And if you have any questions or suggestions for future episodes, we'd love to hear from you. Learning is a two-way process, and your feedback helps us make better content for you.
Thanks again for learning with us. We hope you have a wonderful day.
Keep up the great work. We believe in you. Bye for now.
Goodbye.
See you next time.